Hello, I'm Dr. Tess Mauricio. We should all be beautiful inside and out.
The Dr. Tess Show. The Dr. Tess Show. The Dr. Tess Show. The Dr. Tess Show. When it comes to beauty, they say she's the best. But who is this woman they call Dr. Tess in your world? The Dr. Tess Show. The Dr. Tess Show. The Dr. Tess Show. The Dr. Tess Show.
This is the Dr. Tess Show. Well, you know, with my age, I was born in 1971, and 80s was really when I was in high school and junior high, and mostly high school. And it was so fun.
So, for my sister's birthday party, we wanted to do an 80s theme. Actually, not we, she did. She wanted to do an 80s theme party. I don't remember what people looked like in the 80s. I was born in the 80s, but all I remember is high hair, loud neon colors.
In the 80s, I really didn't dress like the 80s. I dressed more like I was in corporate America.
I keep thinking, oh, what is it that defined the 80s? So for me, there's two things. So one is Back to the Future and Top Gun.
Rick stole the night. I mean, he came dressed up in the whole flight suit of Top Gun, Tom Cruise with the aviator glasses and everything. He was great. So maybe deep down inside he feels like he wanted to be a fighter pilot, but I don't think he can pull it off. But he did pull off that costume. It was excellent job.
Because I really wasn't a part of the 80s, so to speak, because I was so busy studying and working and taking care of the family, I actually had to Google and look at photos of how people dressed in the 80s. And thanks to my daughter, Jaina, who's just so hip, she put together my outfit. So we went through my closet and found a dress that had some tulle in it, and had a pink bow, and we went to Claire's and we bought some 80s accessories, and my daughter happened to have a really nice big bow, and she put it together, and I'm like, wow! It really looked like I'm from the 80s. It was so fun, and I wore my pink shoes with fishnet stockings. Really, in the 80s, you would never ever catch me looking like that. So this is actually the very first time that I look like I'm from the 80s.
I have to say I was super disappointed in my outfit, although I couldn't really go out and buy clothes and all that stuff because I had just been, it's just a month after Mia has been born, so, and I just didn't even really sleep that much. So just getting there, I thought was an accomplishment already.
I went shopping for my clothes. I mean, I literally I didn't know where to go, so I went to like one of those like a thrift shop, and then it smelled, and I couldn't get anything. And then I went to like some other stores that had clothes, and it was perfect. I bought kids' clothes, and they were like loud colors or kind of bright and poofy, so I had on these like really crazy leggings, and I just wore really, really bold, bright pink makeup, and I made my bangs probably about like that tall.
I went as Miami Vice. I don't know if I'm necessarily Don Johnson or anything, but I went as Miami Vice, and Tess went as your quintessential 80s girl. She, big hair, dressed up in layers.
As people started showing me their outfits and people are talking so much, I'm excited about what they're gonna wear, it became like this whole thing alive, like it was so cool. Like James wanted to look like, Miami Vice, and people were talking about, there's just Madonna, and it's just pretty amazing. And until the night of the party, I actually didn't even realize how people really enjoyed dressing up in the 80s, especially my classmates who are my age, and they also were the nerds of the 80s, so they didn't dress like that. They're like, wow, let's do another 80s party. We felt so young. I like dressing like that. Angela looked fabulous in with her 80s outfit, and I think people really like Rick's Tom Cruise outfit. It really looked good on him. It made him look thinner and more handsome, and I think his wife got second place because Marie's hair, I don't know how long that took her, but she was on, and I think she was a baby in the 80s, so I don't know.
Dr. Tess Show.
Ang sikreto ko ho, exercise, syempre. Diet, of course, importante yun. At maraming tulog. At ang pinakasikreto ko sa lahat,
Hi, Gabby!
Dr. Tess!
Sorry, late ako ah.
Okay lang, alam ko busy ka.
Okay, prepare ka na ha?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Gotta go. Dr. Tess Mauricio, America's favorite dermatologist. Yan ang sikreto.
So now, you ready for your next time machine?
Ready, Doc?
Let's start na.
Let's go!
Be impressed with M Beauty by Dr. Tess.
I'm so blessed to have a successful career in show business and be a wife and a mother at the same time. After my second child, napansin ko na parang tumaba ako. And I'm so lucky to find the best, si Dr. Tess.
Women's bodies change after childbirth. It's almost impossible to get back in shape after having kids. Our Tickle Lipo procedure will get that body back.
Ladies, we can get our sexy back.
Dr. Tess, simply the best.
As an actress and a model, I've been to many different places. I've worked with great artists and played memorable characters like Darna. It was a challenge to look my best, even when I was flying and fighting bad guys in my two-piece costume as Darna. As I prepare for my latest role, my comeback in Manila, Dr. Tess is helping me get back into shape with a total makeover. So yes, you can get back to your youthful form or become a new you with M Beauty by Dr. Tess.
But the best from Dr. Tess.
Dr. Tess Show.
A Mauricio party, you gotta have music, singing and dancing, and we brought our favorite live band, and we actually call them our family band because every event, if they're available, we have them over, and they were fabulous singing the 80s songs.
So at all of our parties, our favorite thing to do is dance. Ever since I was young, my mom would always make us dance at every party. But I mean, it's just fun. It's fun, like dancing with my family.
Tess, she's always been able to dance, and that night she got the moves. She had it going on. So
in the Mauricio family, there's no such thing as party without singing or dancing. So we had our usual live band. They were awesome, playing 80s music, which is the kind of the decade where we grew up. So it was really fun. My wife Marie, she got outfit, really huge pads, on her shoulders, and her took I think 2 hours to put her hair up, all the way up, quintessential 80s look. And yeah, and we had the band, and we were singing to the songs. My sister was singing to the songs. I think we were singing the Miami Sound Machine.
And it really brought everybody back to a time where, life was fun, carefree, and now that we're all in our 40s, we're taking care of our kids and our families. It really made us feel a lot younger, and even just for that moment, we're like, wow, enjoy your youth because time flies.
It was a great night, and by the end of the night, I had to sleep because I was so sleepy.
And our youngest sister, Angela, for some reason she has the least amount of energy, and we just found her passed out and tired.
Excuse me, I probably was tired.
I'm not gonna say what really happened.
It was just fun, a great time.
Dr. Tess Show.
M Beauty has has expanded once again. We are now open in Rancho Cucamonga. You can have your time machine treatment, consultation for tickle lipo. We have our Venus freeze treatment, acne laser treatment, acne scar treatment, and medical grade facials. Will make you look and feel your very best in 2014. Our Rancho Cucamonga office is located inside Island Pacific Market in Rancho Cucamonga.
But the best from Dr. Tess.
In my trade, people go to great lengths to look younger and more beautiful. I believe you can retain, enhance, and even turn back the clock without going under the knife. There is no need for a facelift, a brow lift, or eyelid surgery. The Time Machine uses the latest technology to make you look 10 to 20 years younger without surgery, so you always look natural. You should try Dr. Tess's Time Machine. I did, and I couldn't be happier.
You know what I don't understand? Women take care of their husbands, their kids, their jobs. Pero pagdating sa sarili nila, bakit wala? Bakit kaya? Showbiz is a lot like real life. If you take care of yourself, people will respect you. And you know what? If you're happier, mas masarap kang kasama.
You can look and feel beautiful at any age when you take care of your face and body. We use the latest technology to make you look 10 to 20 years younger without surgery, without the fake look.
So ladies, kahit na gaano kayo kabisi sa ginagawa ninyo, huwag niyong kakalimutan ang sarili ninyo. Take care of yourselves because trust me, you're worth it and you deserve it. So go to the best, Dr. Tess, America's favorite dermatologist. I did, and I'm happy. Mukha ba?
So ladies, when you're ready to take care of yourself, we're here for you. Tama ba, Gabby?
Sure, Dr. Tess.
You'll be impressed with M Beauty by Dr. Tess.
We're back here at Gab with Dr. Tess. So, Dr. Tess, we have other questions here from our
So we have,
email. Is that from the email or is that from...
I think this is from Twitter.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Okay, so this question is from our viewer Regina, and she's from Dallas, Texas.
Hi, Regina.
You know, howdy.
Howdy.
I have a mole that I want to get rid of on my cheek. I'm 28 years old, and it has been my trademark, and everyone knows me by my look. But personally, I want to remove it, but my friends are telling me not to do it. Should I be selfish and remove it for myself and risk people talking behind my back?
They might not recognize you, right? Sometimes. But look at this, huh? Pros and cons. On the look side, I know there's a medical explanation too, but like Laura Tolentino, for instance, and all the other celebrity in the Philippines, some of them are moles. They have moles in different places in their faces, and they look good in it. Some people kind of don't feel comfortable with it. Now, if it's as big as a ping pong ball, then that's another
Tulad
question.
kay Enrique Iglesias, he had to get rid of that one. Enrique had a big, giant one that was not in the right location, but I think it depends on where it is.
Where it is, and if it's carcinogenic, I think, or something like that,
Yes.
it could form into cancer or something like that, right?
Correct.
Maybe you can talk
If
about
it's
that.
been changing, if your mole has been changing, if it looks irregular, if it's bleeding, if it's itchy, those are indications that they really have to be removed medically, not for cosmetic reasons. Also, you have to keep in mind, anytime that we remove a mole, you will be left with a scar. So when I talk to anyone who wants their moles removed, sabihin ko sa kanila, would you rather take a scar than your mole? Because there is absolutely no way we can remove a mole without a scar. So, you know, usually I tell people, if the mole looks benign, to keep it.
Okay. Eh kung yung mole, Doc, na may buhok, ano yun? Ano ibig sabihin?
Oh.
Is that dangerous or what?
Not necessarily. Yung may buhok just means sometimes na old na yung mole. Like, you know, congenital moles, like you were born with it. And usually they start off flat, and then as you get older, parang, you know, tumataas sila, lumalaki. But if you don't like it, if it really bothers you, if it's hurting your confidence, you know, then maybe you can think about removing it. The ways to remove it are pretty simple, but you will have a scar.
But I think it's best that you get a professional
Dermatologist, for
ask
sure.
if the mole is...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go see your dermatologist and see what they say, okay?
Right.
All right, now on to our second question from Vallejo, California.
Okay, Vallejo.
From Ryan. Ryan, he moved to the States and left his girlfriend in the Philippines. So lately, sabi ni Ryan, I have been seeing another woman here in Vallejo. I still love my girlfriend in the Philippines. The problem is the women I've been seeing here in the States don't know about my current girlfriend. What's the best advice to tell both women? I'm stuck between two women I really like.
You know, there's a song for every relationship, you know. I think,
Magduduet tayo dito.
well, sa kanila, there's a song for that, you know. Ang dami, you know, ang daming you can relate to that. Listen to those songs first, and maybe it'll encourage you to do something next. Like, parang, it's hard for me to say I'm sorry, di ba? Oh no, it's hard for me to say I'm sorry. You know, just listen to that, and maybe you can decide better. Sometimes the answers are not here with us.
Yes,
the answers are, you know, from deep within your core there. Yeah. But eventually, ang hirap sagutin yung mga questions na ganyan. There are real no answers. Ikaw lang makakalam niya. The answer will have to come from your heart.
And the most important thing is that you can't have two. Either way, sooner or later, you're gonna have to make a decision and choose. And sometimes, you know, you're just prolonging the inevitable pain, both for you, both for, you know, the two women. And sometimes you may lose the one you truly love more if you keep holding on.
Sabi nga nila, yung namamangka sa dalawang ilog, di ba? You know, you're, we call this canoeing, paddling, boating into
between two rivers.
You know, medyo mahirap yun. Pero, you know, the joke about that is huwag ka lang magpapahuli or something like that. Pero, we don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Kayo nang bahala, whatever you feel is best for you, what you think is morally right, and just go ahead and do it.
All right, so thank you again to Ryan and Regina. So next week we're going to be back on Gap with Dr. Tess. Send in your questions.
Send in your questions and we'll be here trying to answer it to the best that we can.
In this business, your face is your number one asset. It's the canvas for all your emotions. How's that for drama?
Hilda Cornell has one of the most beautiful faces in international cinema.
So you want to be sure your face is well taken care of. So I go to the best. I go to Dr. Tess.
We customize our treatments to your individual needs. Our Time Machine program can make you look 10 years younger in a natural way. It's super high-tech and very economical.
Dr. Tess, simply the best.
We all have issues with our face and skin at any age. Now stem cell technology can help. Introducing Lifeline, stem cell in a bottle.
I found the most amazing technology. It is stem cell technology. These stem cells are not embryonic.
Sabi nila bumata daw ako. I'm 31 years old, pero I don't look 31 daw. Tsaka nawala yung mga wrinkles, tapos nag-glow yung face ko.
Skin becomes brighter and clearer just after a few days.
I got mine at mbeautyclinic.com. Get yours today.
So we're really excited that Gabby Concepcion has decided to join our little group, M Beauty. He's now a spokesperson for us, and no one could be more excited than Tess.
Gabby. It's unbelievable. It really is, to me, almost surreal that, you know, we go from me just watching Gabby when I was in the Philippines as a young girl, idolizing him, and then meeting him for the very first time as a medical student at Stanford at Costco.
Because Tess has been an avid fan of Gabby since literally the first day that I met her. I've heard his name more than any other name in terms of celebrities for Filipinos. You know, again, since the day, maybe even the first day we met. And it's funny how even I got to meet him when we were in med school.
I met Dr. Tess. Well, she was just Tess during those days. In 1998.
Even I got to meet Gabby in medical school before we graduated. he was in a Costco in Mountain View. We were shopping there and running along, and Tess all of a sudden disappears. She runs down the aisle.
And I heard this lady, shouting my name. So I looked, and she was running towards me, and she was pregnant. And she goes, Gabby, that's you. So how are you? And all this. And she wanted to have a picture, but there was something wrong with the camera. Siguro at that time, there weren't any cell phones that had cameras, so cameras were not charged. It's one of those things that you pull out, you press a button, and that thing comes out, or I don't know what that was, but it was out of battery. And she felt so bad, and she called her husband, and her husband came.
After she finished talking to him, she came back, and I said, "Oh, was that an old friend?" She said, "No, that was Gabby Concepcion, the guy I've been telling you about." I was like, the actor? I said, "He's here in Costco?"
But I saw her again in 2008, 2009. I saw her for the second time. It was like a replica of what happened the last time, but this time she was no longer pregnant, and she was with James. James was on the left side, I remember, and she was on the right side. I don't know, maybe they have a pattern. They probably walk that way, huh? Maybe James is always on the right, and she's on, I don't know. And I saw them again, and then I recognized them. So I called him James and then Tess, and she was there, and now she was a doctor now. She was already a doctor. So that was really fun to see her again. And it's funny because we've never planned it until this thing happened. And this one, we didn't even plan this. And it just happened. I just remember telling her before, so yeah, once you become a doctor, she told me she was going to be a dermatologist. Once you become a dermatologist, I go see you.
And it's just so unbelievable, and it's one of those things where my siblings always say, these are the things that only happens to Tess. And I think it's true, because it's like whenever I think of something that I want and I'm really wishing and praying for, somehow, God answers my prayers, and here it is. And so Gabby is really amazing and perfect spokesperson for what we stand for in M Beauty, because he looks so good. I mean, Gabby is 50 years old. I know sometimes he doesn't like people to know his real age, but he's 50 years old and he looks fantastic, even without my help yet. But my goal is really to just, turn back the clock, maintain that iconic look that we all love so much, so that, the passing of time doesn't reflect on his, just handsome face.
There's this treatment, it's called the time machine. And I thought it was one of those movies that you enter a machine and you come out here, looking like a fly. It's not like that, diba?
And he was really totally with the program. He loved the concept of the time machine by Dr. Tess, which is basically just using his own natural platelet-rich plasma, his own ability to create collagen to restore a youthful, glowing skin and keep him there and not allow aging to happen anymore.
You just lay down there. It's non-invasive. There's nothing that goes into your face like a capsule or a helmet. It's just they just call it time machine. And they rub a few things on your face, and the whole process happens without anything artificial. And that's what's nice about it.
Somehow he really trusted me, because we've known each other really since med school, and then we've seen each other along the way throughout the years. And finally, this is the right time, and it happened, and we have now the time machine, the technology to do this for him. And I explained it to him. He loved the concept. It's all natural. We're not freezing him. He's able to still be himself, look like himself, be able to emote emotions, because he's an actor. That's very important.
Every person needs something. You just tell Dr. Tess what you want, and she'll give you what she feels is best for you. And if it's okay with you, then go ahead. And I felt comfortable with the time machine. That's what I did. That went on. The downtime was like 2 or 3 days. I recovered fast. On the 4th day, I did a show. No problem. No makeup or anything. So it worked very well.
On the next episode of the Dr. Tess Show.
So Gabby is the new face of M Beauty.
When we had our big event announcing that he is going to be our spokesperson, there were so many people. This was like last minute, and we were really shocked at how many people were there just wanting to touch him, wanting to take photos with him.